How about the international market? Some guys starting to post from Japan, Lance.
Absolutely, yeah. Let's talk about him. Walking. We're going to the curve. I want to talk about Tatsuya.
Active show today.
Yes, Tatsuya Imai. This guy's going to be 27 next year. Really interesting starter pitch for the Sea Blue Lions. Now, there's a lot of angles here that you could go at. From the data side, from my perspective, I want to dig into the three things in particular. The fastball velocity is really good. He's 95.5. He touches about 98, 99 miles per hour. You see the major league average four seam. It's right around 94.5. The big thing, talk about why is he so effective, it's the release height. It's much lower than the major league average by about 10 inches. That creates a visual perception for a hitter of his fastball being very flat to the zone, so it's hard to kind of get under it and get on top of it. And then the last thing here is really weird. I'm going to show you it in a second, but his slider moves arm side. So a lot of the time you think of like Justin Steele's sweeper from the left side, right? A lot of lateral sweep. Even we were talking Michael King, ton of sweep. Generally those pitchers are moving kind of away from righties to the glove side. Imai's goes to his arm side. So what am I talking about here with the fastball release height first? Just watch his delivery. He's a little bit undersized, gets down the mound really well, but it's really low slot. The average arm angle in baseball is right around 40 degrees. He's around 20 degrees. That's a big difference. You see this old Cub friend here, Franmil Reyes, striking out against Tatsuya Imai. The Franimal. And then this is the slider I'm talking about. Watch the movement of this pitch. You can see it's a slider because he's on the side of the ball there. This next one here, right? If you look at that pitch, you almost think that's a splitter, right? Because it's moving to the arm side. This is what I'm talking about. It's a very odd shape, one you don't see a lot in Major League Baseball. That makes it maybe a little bit difficult to project going forward in Major League Baseball because there's not a lot of precedent of this arm slider shape. But he throws hard. He's also got like 3 variations of off speed that are all really effective. He's a fascinating arm. You're going to have to pay him probably close to $150 million or so with this posting fee attached to him. What do you guys think?
Okay, at least from what we just saw from Lance showing us, do you feel that the velocity fits in with the Cubs' rotation, but the arm slot pretty much the same as everyone else? Would you agree with that one?
Yeah, and I think that's what makes him intriguing is he's not the biggest guy. But then I think neither is Yamamoto, and he's done just fine. Now, is this guy Yamamoto? Not quite, but still he can, I never really worry about size as much in baseball, especially also with pitching. Repeatable, compact.
The low slot's the thing now. That low upshoot slot is something
very
teams
interesting
love.
slider.
Like the deep stuff is a little bit different, the high up slots.
That you pointed out.
Very weird.
And also, I think, too, he's got the swing and miss, but he also induces ground balls. So how perfect is that and what we see so often with pitchers in this Cubs defense and how it plays nicely together. And I do think there is this piece, too. The Cubs are enticing because they've already got it set up for Shota and Seiya. So they have adjusted and adapted to these players coming over from Japan. Now, could you argue the Dodgers are probably, even ahead of the Cubs? Sure. But I think the Cubs have a very good argument and a very good case when these players come over that they have it set up for them nicely, and especially Shota on the pitching front for them, because I think you've even seen how especially Seiya has gotten more comfortable over the years and the team probably more familiar with what do these players need, how can we help them, whether it's nutrition or workouts, whatever it may be. And so, I thought the first time I saw him, looked like an easy mid-90s, upper 90s.
Really
so that's what stuck out to me, and I was like, I like this guy.
Yeah, he's not a guy that's necessarily going to walk into a room and turn heads stature-wise, not necessarily Tyler Glasnow, but when you take a look at his overall arsenal, Lance, is this something that could be very attractive not only to the Chicago Cubs, but a whole bunch of teams Major League-wide?
I think he's going to be a hot commodity, partially because there's going to be a lot of variance around his profile. When you're projecting these guys to come over, it's often tough to totally lock in and be like, we know his projection will be this. You look at a Dylan Cease, he's been in the majors for a while. He's basically a metronome from an innings pitch standpoint. I kind of know what I'm getting from him. Imai, you have a wider range of outcomes, so it becomes a tolerance of what team wants to pay, maybe over what another team is willing to pay. If the Cubs are willing to go to $130 million on him, is there another team that'll go to $140, $150? That risk calculation on him is just harder to peg, I think, from a front office standpoint. That's attractive to some teams. Other teams that prefer safety, maybe not so much.
Does his size, does that translate to 2026 and beyond? Because guys aren't necessarily going 7, 8, 9 innings. They're going out there 4, 5, let's call it the bullpen.
Yeah, the size element is tough. I know there's a lot of people that think maybe size has some impact on longevity long term. But the thing I'll mention, relative to the market, he's a lot younger. He's only 27 years old. Michael King, all these other guys we're talking about are 31 plus. That is also an element that's really attractive to a lot of orbs.